Okay, in this video I'm going to be explaining very briefly about something called probability trees. Okay. Alright, so a probability tree is basically a way of working out what is the probability mathematically. Okay, so calculating the likelihood of an event happening. So if we have our coin here, okay, so that's our coin, we know that there are basically only two possibilities. All right, you either get heads or tails. And for those of you who aren't familiar with this, the idea is, in North America anyway, is that coins obviously have two sides. On one side, we'll call that side A. On side A, we would normally have the picture of a past president or the queen or something like that. Okay, so a person, usually. And on side B, there's usually some sort of a national symbol. Okay, now it could be a tree, a flower, an animal, whatever the national symbol might, whatever the symbols might be, it'll be on the other side. Okay, so when we say heads, we are talking about side A, and when we're talking about tails, we're talking about side B. Okay, so getting back to our conversation here, we know that a coin has two sides, obviously, and one side is heads and one side is tails. You can't have anything else other than that. And we know that since there are two possibilities, all right, if we were to describe, for example, the possibility of getting a heads as a fraction, we would say that it would be 1 over 2. The denominator showing how many possible events could occur, and the numerator showing how many successful events would occur. All right, so this is saying that out of the two sides on the coin, only one has heads. Okay, so if this fraction here describes the situation for heads, then 1/2 would also describe the situation for tails. Again, there are two sides to the coin. Only one of them has tails, so that means that we can only be successful when only one of the sides is up. Okay, and obviously you also know that 1/2 is the same thing as 0.5. Okay. Now, if we were to take that same coin and toss it again, well, we still only have two possible options. Okay, so this was maybe the first toss here. I'm going to change the color. This was our situation. We tossed it the first time. Toss 1. This is all these are all both possibilities for toss 1. Okay, so either we got heads or we got tails the first time we threw the coin. Okay. Now down here is going to be the possibilities if we toss it a second time. All right. So if we've got our coin sitting on our table now and we've tossed it the first time and we ended up with heads, if we take that same coin and we toss it again, well, again, we only have two choices. It's either going to be heads or it's going to be tails. Okay? And if we tossed our coin the first time and we ended up with tails the first time, and we took that same coin, again, we have only we only have two possibilities. Either it's a heads or it's a tails the second time we toss it. Okay? And we know that in this particular case, it's going to be 0. It's going to be 0.5 again, and this would be 0.5 again, and this would be 0.5, and this would be 0.5. Okay? Again, when we're talking about this one coin here, we can only have two possibilities, and that means that each possibility has a 50-50 chance of happening. All right? Okay, so, these arms here on our tree are referred to as branches. Okay? This is referred to as the probability. Okay? And these here are referred to as the outcome. Okay? All right, so when we are trying to work out the probability of an event happening, we need to use these decimal numbers to work it out. Okay, so the probability of us getting tails, okay, the formula is the number of successful events over the total number of events. Okay? So you use this formula to calculate the probability of whatever it is that you're looking at for basic probability. All right? And you put in here what it is you consider the successful event. If I wanted to find out the probability of throwing heads, I would take out tails and I would write heads in there. Okay? So this video is getting a little bit long, so I'm going to carry this over to another video, but what you need to understand is that this is a probability tree. It has certain parts. The lines are the branch. The decimal or the fraction representation